he's got the fast hands, certainly a high-level tennis doubles experience, but his mixed game has really started to shine.
Underway here. Jay Devilliers in the near court, Donald Young in the far court, and Young trying to go cross court a little bit wide. Jay Devilliers last week in singles, most impressive moment I think for him in quite some time. Took on Colin Schick and really took it to him on championship court. Looked unbeatable in that match. A little bit long this time, but another sample of what he is capable of.
Yeah, Jay's ceiling in singles is very high, and he's really started to reach that. Taking down Colin is no small feat, given Colin's bouncy like footwork and strokes, and really coming on that main stage when he went from qualifier to final down to Daytona. But great win there from Jay.
Devilliers tries to go to that two-handed backhand.
And fun to see him using the two-handed backhand. He's been one of the original and few proponents of that one-handed backhand drive, but seeing him put two hands on that has provided a little bit of stability and a kind of an exciting opportunity to go cross court a lot sharper than he's been able to.
2-0.
Jay Devilliers, the 8th seed. Beautiful shot by Devilliers.
That inside out, so clutch for some of these elite singles players, whether it's the midcourt or a baseline, but going inside out from your forehand is a really nice tool to have in the toolbox. Hits that drive just off his back foot a little bit into the tape. So let's see if Donald can get something going here.
Oh, good return that time by Devilliers, and Young can't do anything with it. Side out back to Jay.
3-0.
I like the move by Jay. That sail's just a little bit long. I think he's got to calibrate. There's a little bit of wind at his back, certainly more of an advantage than not, but I'll have to dial it in here.
So Donald Young struggling here with the serve early.
3-0.
Devilliers a 3-0 lead.
Beautiful backhand cross-court volley there from Donald. So it's interesting. Jay seems to be going at Donald's forehand with the returns, not really afraid of the forehand. I think he does not want to be on the receiving end of some of those backhand flicks and punches.
So as this match goes on, another one we're watching, or we have kind of in the back of our minds, Jaume Martinez, Vic, Gabriel Joseph. That should have a lot of excitement with that match going on.
Yeah, a 6 and a 9 seed of those caliber going at it is going to be a fun one to watch. Donald struggling out here, trying to get that ball up and over the net. Is
3-0.
Devilliers just very softly places it across court.
The length. Be sure to check out the length and the stability here of Jay, just really knowing where to be.
4-0.
Another tremendous shot. The passer by Devilliers makes it 5-0. Devilliers on fire right now on championship court, and a timeout by Donald Young.
for all that play at the amateur and rec level. I may predict a pickle here by Jay, given the last few points.
So pickling mean an 11-0 win in a game. Let's see if Devilliers can accomplish that. Donald Young comes out of the timeout, and that is how you respond, and that's why you call that timeout.
100%. That's how you respond to two commentators throwing out the idea that you'll be losing 11-0. I hope that's not the case, but if you can't get those drives up and over the net, then it's going to be a little bit of a tough challenge here. Really, forehand has not been there for him today.
6-0.
Oh, a little luck that time for Donald Young, and maybe a play like that turns the tide.
For sure. He certainly made a lot of shots in order to earn that little bit of good fortune, but really fun, classic pickleball singles point here.
0-6.
Too much Devilliers, though, right on top of the kitchen to get side out once again.
Jay seems to have a pretty good handle right now on where Donald wants to go, especially on the forehand side.
Oh, Devilliers can't return it back, and well done once again by Donald Young.
Yeah, Donald Young's backhands, whether they're one-handed or two-handed, pretty sharp, pretty heavy, getting that down and away from Jay.
0-6.
And Devilliers, another beautiful shot. Went side out again. You know, in men's doubles, I'm so excited to watch Devilliers get back with his partner of a few years ago, Patrick Smith.
6-0.
Yeah, those two have certainly started to put together some good results, and it is a fun kind of rekindling of their kind of 2019-2020 experience. Certainly played a lot of pickleball, know a lot of the patterns, and overall just extremely solid.
Yep.
You know.
7-0.
So Jay able to keep that last point alive. Young hits it into the net, and it's 7-0. Devilliers can't score there. Wanted that one back. But still a comfortable 7-0 lead here in game number 1.
0-7.
So finally Young gets on the score sheet. What can Donald Young do to slowly get back in this match?
I mean, I think he's got to make Jay hit, and that forehand, although it's not really working for him, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, he's got to get a ball in play with that forehand and get a ball back so he can kind of do something like that. Not going for too much on the forehand, but give himself an opportunity to close in a serve and volley fashion.
Back-to-back points now for Young. Oh, just wide. Devilliers making that call, and I believe it was about an inch wide of that line.
Jay's always been an honest and forthright guy.
Oh, who isn't, right?
7-2.
Oh, too much on it from Devilliers that time.
The winner of this drew will go on to take either Julian Arnold or Kaysen Campbell in and on the round of 16, but Kaysen Campbell has taken game 1 off of Julian, 11-4. So we were just talking about him as one of the up-and-comers to watch on the singles front.
Yeah, certainly. That ball skipped over the net. Devilliers able to let it go, and now we'll serve here, 7-2. Oh, nicely done by Donald Young. You mentioned, though, Campbell. He's one of the teenagers on the tour, kind of like in the mold of a Hayden Patriquin, young, exciting players that haven't even hit 20 yet.
they've certainly got all the time in the day to devote to the craft, and it really does show. You know, they're enhancing their strengths, whether it be his forehand drive or filling out the holes that some of their opponents have started to flesh out. So it's fun to see them really be able to dedicate full time to being as good as they can be.
7-2.
I think it is cool to watch some of the younger players that are in their teens that haven't had the pro tennis experience or the college tennis experience, and they just go out and they play the game worry-free.
For sure. Jay will gladly take that. But yeah, being pickleball native from the ground up does carry, you know, more advantages than not, whether it's really understanding the wrist or the patterns or the footwork that is pickleball specific. It's a fun opportunity to start with a clean slate like that.
Donald Young gets side out here, but he's trailing by 7.
2-9.
Great athletic shot there on the move from Donald, showing the power of his two-handed finesse there across court. Putting up a bit of a battle here in game 1 after coming out real slow.
3-9.
Donald Young was once #1 in the junior world rankings in tennis when he was just 16 years old. You're seeing that skill on display right now. Bit of a slow start, but trying to dig himself out of it here against Jay Devilliers. And now some life for Donald Young. Oh, Devilliers with a nasty drop shot.
Silky smooth there from Jay. He also holds the finish, gives us that nice, beautiful smile, but that's pure finesse.
From the most handsome man in pickleball, Jay Devilliers. And another passing shot.
He heard that compliment, Drew.
10-5 now in game 1. And first game point here for the Flying Frenchman. Can't get to it that time. Young will stay alive here.
Donald gets a lot on that volley from below the net with his two-handed backhand. It's a heavy ball. Just going a little too much on the forehand here, trying to be a little too perfect. Brings that in just 6 inches or a foot. It's almost a clean winner.
Jay Devilliers can't return it. Side out once again. Donald Young certainly making Devilliers work in this game 1. It seemed like about 10 minutes ago it was going to be easy cruising for Jay. It hasn't been the case.
Yeah, Jay's, I think, missed 3 or 4 returns here, so some easy points there from Donald, who certainly has a fine serve, not going for too much on it, but some nice gifts here. And speaking of gifts, commentator curse. Game point back on Jay's battle.
You're young in this position too. You may not take game 1, but still you've got momentum carrying into game 2, and that's always huge.
Again, going for a little too much on the forehand, but yeah, certainly, Drew, you want to make your opponents think that you've got the shots and you can string them together, and even if you do take a 3 or 4 point loss, it's, you know, you really want to set it up for game 2 or 3.
Oh, drops right in front of Devilliers, so a little luck for Donald Young never hurts.
For sure, that's his second neckboard dribbler, but he'll take it right now with that cheeky smile.
And a passing shot for Donald Young. He is within 3.
That's the power or disadvantage, actually, of a short return. It gives an ability for Donald to pounce on that and open up a lot of angle for him. Didn't need to hit a particularly crazy forehand there to win it in clean fashion.
7-10.
Oh, Young can't get to it. Devilliers again, cool under fire.
Game point.
But this is going to be the 5th game point for Jay Devilliers in this first game.
10-7.
Devilliers,
Point game.
that one-handed backhand just too much for Donald Young, and he takes it 11-7.
The official ball of the PPA Tour.
Game 2, timeout, 0-0.
And Ryan, one of the toughest questions I'm going to ask you today. Jay Devilliers, part of the big trade with Tyson McGuffin, Utah and Orlando doing business. Who got the better part of that deal?
I think it's a tough question for sure. I think Utah comes out ahead a little bit there with snagging Jay. I think Jay his level's consistent. He's a great teammate. Has been in an MLP experience before, and I think Utah's kind of fortunate to have him and pull off that trade so quickly, kind of post-draft.
Oh, Young skips one over the net and in. So good start here in game number 2 for Donald Young.
1-0. Point.
And now a 2-0 lead for Young.
Donald seeming to go a little bit more for his serve here. A little bit of wind at the back. Maybe earns him another short return or two to use that two-handed backhand. That one just hits the top of the tape though, but Jay's gonna have to really work here.
Oh, nicely done by Donald Young. He'll get side out once again. Biggest adjustment for a tennis player coming over to the game of pickleball.
In a singles fashion, it certainly is volleying. You're really opting to punch or roll as opposed to cut. That's probably one of the biggest ones in a singles context. And shortening of the stroke on ground strokes is another one to look out for. You know, you want to be able to generate that top spin and go from low to high, but you don't really have the time or need to do the big, larger windup.
When the world sleeps, greatness rises. And while others dream of the next level, we chase it. Challenging every limit, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Because the next level isn't just handed to you, it's earned. Go next level with 6-0 Pickleball.
With a 0-6 deficit, but certainly turning the tide here against Jay. And a beautiful two-handed backhand, clean winner up the line there. The two-hander has been really good to Donald today, and if he can get his forehand up to adequate, he could certainly force game 3.
And now we're talking about being pickled. It could potentially happen to Jay Devilliers here. He is trailing 7-0. So what is different about what's happening right now than what was happening in game number 1 for Jay?
Well, Jay's certainly given away a few bunnies with some unforced errors here, but Donald has certainly turned up the heat on the serve to earn some shorter returns. And, well, Jay gets on the board there. So props to not being pickled. But Donald's really played into his two-handed backhand and not tried to do too much with the forehand.
Devilliers finally on the board. Can't make it 2 in a row, though. And a side out back to Young.
Back to your question, Drew, around from tennis to pickleball conversion. If you played doubles tennis, and especially at the level that Donald was playing doubles, that is kind of the perfect entry into pickleball.
That ball had some nasty spin on it from Young. Watch this. winner.
Very, very nifty, kind of running around that forehand. Good look at the topspin you're able to generate now with these paddles.
So Devilliers trying to settle down here. You know, you're just cruising along. It happens to all these great pros. You think that you're potentially just going to run away with it, and then bam, reality hits that you've got your hands full. I think that may be going on right now in the mind of Jay Devilliers as Young continues to go to work.
Great close there from Donald at the net. And to your point, Drew, yeah, the points move fast, and a lot can happen within 20 or 30 seconds. So the runs don't have to be too complex. And if you make him hit, I mean, that's not a great drive there by Donald, but he certainly has the lead and the momentum, and Jay feels compelled to hit that. And it's hard to leave a ball when you're down.
And now 10-2. It's game point for Donald Young. A chance to force a game 3. Devilliers, was that a little wide? I believe so. So 11-7, 11-2. Donald Young comes right back.
He's taken down names almost every other week now, but taking Julian down in two games here is a big start to the weekend for him.
Meanwhile, Jay Devilliers has his hands full. Game 3. Off to a favorable start for him. Dominated game number 1. Donald Young had his way in game 2. And when you have a clear edge in both games, you start to wonder, do the sides matter big time in a match like this?
Certainly do, and that's why we'll switch at 6. But wind at your back in singles. Beautiful shot there by Donald, but wind at your back in singles definitely a bit of advantage, as now everyone's starting to go for their serve, earn the short return, and you know, we'll take a few extra miles per hour on your ground stroke.
So this is the shot in question here. Was it a little long?
The outcome puts us at 2-1. The outcome puts us at side out.
That ball looked like it graced the line.
To Donald there, but
Video review.
we'll tune in for this review.
The ball was in. 2 timeouts, 2 timeouts. We will resume play at side out, 2-1.
So Jay Devilliers gets the call overturned here, and now he will serve. All tied at
2-1.
rather with a 2-1 lead here in game number 3. Skips over the net, and did that land in? I believe so. Side out back to Young.
The 35th seed here, Donald, really getting a lot of love from the net. He's had 3 clean winners and 2 really kind of fortunate bounces off of that, but that's the way the game goes. But Jay looking to go get that ball, really start to control a little bit of the momentum. I think he knows he can close here in this game 3, but he needs to start to bring it.
2-1.
Devilliers, and you saw Young just kind of question himself, hesitated just a little bit there.
A real testament to the drive is dipping. It's far more important than just raw power on a linear fashion. Beautiful shot there from Jay down the line. So nice string here for him. And
here in Houston, first ever PPA Tour stop here. Jay Devilliers looking to build on a 4-1 lead here, game 3.
good pressure there from Donald, keeping Jay back at the baseline. I like that Jace really resorted to the two-handed backhand as opposed to his one-handed kind of drive there. I think it served him well here in game 1 and game 3, but great serve there from Donald. Maybe skipping off the line there, but really good reaction here from Young.
Oh, beautiful shot from Donald Young, one of his best of the day. And this long from Devilliers. We are tied at 4, and Donald Young continues to gain confidence. Another shot hit long by Jay Devilliers, and Donald Young has his first lead here in game 3.
Timeout quickly taken there by Jay, but we were just talking about runs. That's a 4-point swing in 35 seconds, and a loose error there by Jay, just sailing that easy volley a bit long. So he's going to have to regroup here, try to stick it out through the rest of game 3. We'll be switching at 6. Wind at the back of Jay right now. Donald serving into that, but Donald's really adjusted well in just trying to make balls and make Jay hit, and that certainly served him well here in game 3.
Told you about Donald Young's tennis background. Jay Devilliers played just about every sport when he was growing up. Soccer, tennis, handball, swimming, badminton, skiing, table tennis, squash.
Decathlete. A true decathlete here.
Man, he did everything. And that is beautiful. Donald Young on an absolute tear. Hit to a game 3, and he leads 6-4.
6-4.
Jay Devilliers, the timeout pays off right there.
And that ball lands on the line there. Tough ball for Jay to handle, but big for Donald to get the serve back.
6-4.
Into the net that time from Young. We mentioned April, a busy month here in the PPA. Second of 4 events here. Any player may hit a little bit of a wall here. So no matter who you are, got to just kind of take that deep breath or do whatever it is you got to do to get back on track, right?
For sure. I mean, these events, you have to bring so much focus to every shot, every match. No easy matches. Great get there by Jay. Oh, wow. And nifty two-handed roll there from Donald. We'll catch a replay here. Jay getting a lot on that backhand volley over his head, but good play from Donald to finish it.
Devilliers quickly up to the kitchen. Now we're playing some pickleball, folks. Devilliers gets side out right back. These two really going at it.
Beautiful high intensity point there. Donald making a good job of Jay's reach, and Jay's fighting here, just down 1. Nice little strategy change here from Jay, opting to drop that into the wind, get into the kitchen, make Donald play the small stuff.
6-6.
First ATP from Devilliers, and it goes wide off the paddle of Donald Young. So the lead back to Jay.
Really skilled sequence there from Jay. Great job here for the men's and mixed games quite effectively now.
So Donald Young,
Good shot there from Donald. I did not expect that.
Yeah,
when you're in a firefight and you can resort to small, soft angled, it's a big step rather than going for pure firepower.
Really nice use of the timeout. And Devilliers, sorry, not sorry for the first time today.
He gets his first net court dribbler. He'll definitely take it here in game 3, trying to get to a 3-point lead.
Is that long? Yes, it is. So Young bit frustrated here. Jay Devilliers 2 points away. He has certainly been tested. Here's the frustration from Young.
Great shots there from Donald, forcing Jay to that backhand corner.
6-9.
Skips over and it's in. So Donald Young not done just yet. Trying to hang in against Devilliers, the 8 seed.
7-9.
But he is really making Jay run here.
Donald playing pretty good high-level pickleball singles here. Certainly has come to learn the patterns that are going to work for him on the court.
This to tie. Not this time. So if you're Devilliers now, you know that you need to take advantage of this opportunity because you've got a feisty, hungry competitor on the other side who is feeling it. Devilliers can't finish. Young at the kitchen gets side out once again.
Yeah, that point set up by a pretty poor Jay drive. I'm surprised he didn't go for the drop when he's brought Donald into the kitchen. Has been good, but a chance to equalize here for Donald.
Just wide.
Some game 1 forehand resemblance there, just going for too much. He's got to go back to making Jay hit and stretching him, but not too far.
Devilliers upset at himself now as Young's going to get another opportunity to tie. What a battle this has grown into here.
Donald, a pretty animated player, similar to Jack Sock, where a point is won or lost. He's talking to people in the crowd. He's got a little main character energy.
Now the cat and mouse game, and Young is going to win the point. Well, he is doing just about everything right here late in this match.
Great movement here from Donald, and silky smooth finish up the line.
Devilliers frustratingly won, and now a chance to lead here in game 3. Oh, Devilliers, perfect shot.
Good pressure there from Jay. Good forehand volleys. Will be really interesting to see if he's driving or dropping here. There we go. Soft drop to the Donald backhand. Donald a bit frustrated. So match point, game 3 here for the 8 seed.
10-9.
Devilliers cannot put the match away. Still some hope for the 35th seed Donald Young.
9-10.
And there's Young again. Crowd coming alive here in Houston.
Look at this two-handed backhand stab from Donald. It's just really dangerous. Not many people have that in their bag.
10-10.
Tied at 10. Oh, how about this? How about this?
Match point.
Donald Young just balling right now. So good on the footwork and the hands. The doubles tennis just shining through right here.
So the first match point here for Donald Young. Can he put this match away? And yes, he will. Donald Young, the 35th seed, takes down the 8th seed, Jay Devilliers. Bit of a slow start, but then what kind of changed for you at the end of that first game and then leading on to get the upset win?
Yeah, I was playing on an outside court, and I got to play on center, so it was a little different. The court's a little newer, so plays slightly different, if that makes sense. It makes sense in a little bit of tennis terms. But, yeah, it was good. I got kind of used to the nerves, a little nervous at first. Jay was hitting some really good shots, and I was able to kind of slow it down in my mind and kind of pick spots, and they happened to fall. I got quite a few leg courts, which I'll thank the net later, but or now. But that was great, and just competed well, and tried to play as best as I could. I'm still learning the kind of nuance of the game, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, Donald, really impressive out there, especially in Game 3. I think you set up a lot of patterns for yourself that turned out to be pretty successful. But I'm curious, in your conversion, what have you been most focused on with your singles game in terms of shots or patterns that are going to work for you?
Yeah, for me, it's been mainly just picking the spot, not taking as big of a backswing, kind of letting just more through. If you don't have the strings to kind of grip it and get it up and down, you kind of got to do that a little more with your forearm. So a little more of that, and just 60%, 70%, not of 100, because the court's short, and just make them hit the volley. So, you know, and come up with something. So if you make them play, good things can happen, or they win the point. It's either or, 50-50.
You're another tennis player making that conversion over to the sport of pickleball. There was a moment there you're going head-to-head with Devilliers. It became kind of a slugfest there. Just tell us what that feels like when you know that the game is clicking and you have arrived.
Feels good, you know, when your shots are hitting, is a confidence it gives you that you can hit the ball and it's going where you want, and they can try to just flow and just focus on, you know, patterns and play instead of making the shot. Because when you start thinking about making the shot and technique and production, that's when all types of bad things happen. So it was working today. Hopefully I can keep it going.